Greetings, greetings, greetings and salutations, one and all. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the night shift. It's Healthy Love Night right here on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. How are you doing? Are you grateful to be alive and well? It's the sound of voice. It's called Alive and Well. I want to say greetings and salutations to each and everyone who are locked in right now. Some of them just walk easy living, not success reach them watching your things. So you are sure they can't talk to me. Guardian angels watch over me. Every morning I need long and pray for my family. Those locked in on Tuning Radio, the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. On WGLRO, the morning show, Donnie Walker, taking you from the sheets to the streets. Greetings to you all those tuning in from Detroit to Denmark and everywhere in between. Big ups to those on One Harmony Radio, top of the morning to you. Those on PEMG TV, and of course right here, the home of the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. Glad to have you. Couldn't do it without you. You have my word, I wouldn't try. Reach them watching your things. So you are sure they can't talk to me. Guardian angels watch over me. Every morning I need long and pray for my family. Look, I say you are sure no bad company could take away one shot give to me. When I see negative and I check on the next way. I'm bad mind, I don't know. Send you but tell them you will see me now. You see me now. You see me now. Go ahead. Put your hands in the air. Wave them like you just don't care. I want to say a special thanks to Pulse Media Group for sponsoring this segment of the show. When being in the moment is priceless, Pulse Media Group is the place to go. They can stream your moments, they can capture your moments in photo.
they can create a moment just like this one that you see right here on kevinstew.com. They can host your site, or they can just give you video capabilities like what I have right here. Just give them a call, 754-999-6020, or visit them at pulsemg.com and find out how they can help you.
Every artist listening, influence the youth. Leave a message in your song from today. Cause I know Jah will make my poet. To the leaders of my country, Jah bless your soul to be right every day. Do your work.
So to the leaders of our country, whichever country that you're in right now, you need to ask them, are you alive and well? Are you grateful that you're alive and well? What are you doing to make sure that our children can say, you know, I'm alive and well? The important part being well. So, for those of you who caught the show last night, you would have known that we are bringing some awareness to global warming, to climate change. And we looked at how climate change can affect us in our communities, the various ways, some of the various ways that it could affect us. And we looked at it from a living in our space kind of a perspective, physically living in a space. But we didn't look at what we're going to look at tonight. We touched on it a little bit, mentioning it here and there. And for those who saw the post for the show, you would recognize it. But what we're looking at tonight, for everybody else, is climate change and health. What is the effect that climate change have on our health? Has anybody really stopped to consider that? Anybody stopped to really look into that? Climate change, together with other natural and human-made health stressors, influence human health and disease in numerous ways. Some existing health threats will intensify, and new health threats will emerge. And not everyone is equally at risk. And important considerations include age, economic resources, and location. Remember, we touched on those things last night. In the US, public health can be affected by disruptions of physical, biological, and ecological systems, including disturbances originating here and elsewhere. The here being in the US. The health effects of these disruptions include increased respiratory and cardiovascular disease, injuries and premature deaths related to extreme weather events, changes in the prevalence and geographical distribution of food and waterborne illnesses, and other infectious diseases and threats to mental health. Tonight, largely thanks to, in a big way, to the CDC, the Center for Disease Control. Tonight, we're going to be looking at some of the ways that our climate change affect our health. And some of these, we probably have thought about it in passing. We have probably experienced some of it in some way, shape, or form. But tonight, we want to really pay close attention to some of these effects some of these effects on our health. And this happens just about everywhere. It's not limited to the US. It happens everywhere. So it matters not where you are listening to me right now. You could be in the UK, you could be in Europe, you could be in Scandinavia. Really doesn't matter which geographic location you're coming from. Africa, the Caribbean, everywhere. Because we are all living on the same planet, we're all experiencing some of the very same things. Different intensities, yes, but some of the very same things. So, one of the first things to take into consideration when looking at how climate change affects our health is air pollution. Now, climate change is projected to harm human health by increasing ground level ozone and particulate matter air pollution in some locations. Ground level ozone, and a key component of that is smog, is associated with many health problems such as diminished lung function, increased hospital admissions, and emergency room visits for asthma, and increases in premature deaths also. Factors that affect ozone formation include heat, concentrations of precursor chemicals, and methane emissions. Heat, concentrations of precursor chemicals, and methane emissions. Remember those. Particulate matter concentrations are affected by wildfire emissions and air stagnation episodes, among other factors. Now, by increasing these different factors, climate change is projected to lead to increased concentrations of ozone and particulate matter in some regions. Increases in global temperatures could cause associated increases in premature deaths related to worsened ozone and particulate pollution. Now, estimates that assume no change in regulatory controls or population characteristics have ranged from 1,000 to 4,300 additional premature deaths naturally by the year 2050 from combined ozone and particulate health effects. Now, less certainty exists about the responses of airborne particles to climate change than the response of ozone. Health-related costs of the current effects of ozone air pollution exceeding national standards have been estimated at $6.5 billion. And this was actually about 10 years ago that they had that estimate. And that was based on a US assessment of health impacts from ozone levels during the year 2000 to the year 2002. So understand that it took some time to come up with that number. It took some time to do the assessment. Now, what else? Another thing that contributes, that changes, that affects our health with climate change is allergens. And some would wonder, those who were on last night, some people did mention that, yeah, I have noticed where I've had more allergic reactions. And my sinuses would be bothered or affected a whole lot more now than they used to be. And yeah, there's a reason for that. Climate change resulting in more frost-free days and warmer seasonal air temperatures can contribute to shifts in flowering time and pollen initiation from allergenic plant species. Now, increased carbon dioxide by itself can elevate production of plant-based allergens. Higher pollen concentrations and longer pollen seasons can increase allergic sensations, sensitization, and asthma episodes, and diminish productive work and school days. You see how just the whole idea of being able to admire the flowers just a little bit longer can affect us. Because let's face it, when it comes to the flowering season, it's a beautiful time. Looking at those flowers bloom, it's a beautiful thing. But there comes the other effect of that beauty, the pollen count. Higher pollen concentrations and longer pollen seasons can cause allergic sensitizations and asthma episodes and diminish productive work and school days. How many people have been affected by severe allergies just this year alone? Simultaneous exposure to toxic air pollutants can worsen allergic responses. Extreme rainfall and rising temperatures can also contribute to indoor air quality problems, including the growth of indoor fungi and mold, with increases in respiratory and asthma-related conditions. There you have it again. Those mold spores don't play. And more you find individuals suffering from respiratory problems, and it's related to mold. Asthma prevalence, which has increased in the US from 7.3% in 2001 to 8.4% in 2010. Asthma visits in primary care settings, emergency room visits, and hospitalizations were all stable from 2001 through 2009. Asthma death rates per 1,000 persons with asthma declined from 2001 through 2009. As pollen exposure increase, patients and their physicians will face increased challenges in maintaining adequate asthma control. Changes in climate affect these things. Now, and when you really check it out, when you look at all of these things, when you connect all the dots, one affects the other and affects the other and it affects the other and it comes, and they all come full circle. So if we can manage to break the circle somewhere, break that chain somehow, somewhere, we could actually influence a change. Climate change is increasing the vulnerability of many forests to wildfires. Climate change is also projected to increase the frequency of wildfires in certain regions of the United States. Long periods of record high temperatures are associated with droughts that contribute to dry conditions and drive wildfires in some areas. Wildfire smoke contains particulate matter, carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, and various volatile organic compounds which are ozone precursors, and can significantly reduce air quality both locally and in areas downwind of fires. Let me pause for a moment. So that the mention of wildfires was in the US. Consider this: 20% of the Earth's oxygen is created by the Amazon. Where was on fire recently? The Amazon. So, if 20% of the Earth's air, oxygen, not air but oxygen, is produced by by trees and plant life in the Amazon, what happens when that's on fire? What kind of air are we getting, or is being provided, or being consumed in and around the globe? And 20% is nothing to sneeze at. Especially when you're looking at increases in population. That oxygen is needed. No wonder we're looking to populate other planets, because we're killing this one. Smoke exposure increases respiratory and cardiovascular hospitalizations, emergency department visits, medication dispensations for asthma, bronchitis, chest pain, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, commonly known as COPD, and respiratory infections and medical visits for lung illnesses. It has been associated with hundreds and thousands of deaths annually, based on an assessment of the global health risks from landscape fire smoke. Future climate changes is projected to increase wildfire risks and associated emissions with harmful impacts on health. Again, when you talk about playing with fire, it's real, because it's a control in a controlled environment. When you look at a fire, it's a beautiful thing. When you look at and it is something to be respected too, fire. But when you consider how fire lives, it lives by consumption, just like everything else that lives. It has to consume something. And in consuming something, it gives off something. There's a byproduct. The byproduct of this beautiful thing, this fire, includes gases and smoke. I'd like to say I cannot think of a time when fire gives off something other than heat that we would really need. Maybe steam, but that's a byproduct of it heating something else. The fire consuming whatever it is that is giving it life. The byproduct is usually not that healthy. So if we have more fire than we do anything else, the byproduct would be a whole lot more. The byproduct tends to be negative as it relates to our health, specifically our respiratory health. So what's going to happen? More cases of asthma, more cases of respiratory failures, and lung disease. You see how they're connected? And that's just the DJ talking, not the DR. So, can you imagine the breakdown that you'd get from those that have the DR in front of their names? Think on these things. And since we are our best doctors, what are we doing to protect us? What are we doing that we recognize the things that affect us to take care of those things. Because let's face it, for the most part, you go look about the treatment of something, it is the symptom that is being treated and not the cause. Individually, we're interested in treating the cause. So, by result of that, we can only be our best doctors. A doctor cannot tell you what is wrong with you unless you tell the doctor what you're going through, what you're dealing with. So essentially, you are telling the doctor what is wrong with you so that they can give you their best guess based on what they know and have been practicing. They haven't mastered it yet. That's why doctor is a practice and not a mastery. Yeah? Cool. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we'll look at temperature extremes and how those affect our health. Yeah, it might seem like a replay of last night, but no, it's not. Things are different. We're looking at a different side of it. Call a friend, tell a friend. It's a night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. And we're talking health tonight. What specifically about health? We're talking about how climate change affects our health. A really important topic, especially in this time. Those of us who are in South Florida and in the Carolinas, on the east coast of America, right, of the United States right now, are looking on at Hurricane Dorian. And we have those in the Bahamas are first-hand experiencing what that is like. That is as a result of global warming. You can believe me or not, but you look into it yourself and tell me what you come up with. Okay, for those who are more religious among us, it's God's doing. Okay, cool. Still, look at what you know though. Look at what is presented in front of you. Look at history and what has happened in history. Look at our world and the health of our world. What do you come up with? We'll be right back.
Pulsey Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulsey Media Group.
Are you crazy about the music industry? You aspire to hit it big in music? Or maybe you've sweated out a soulful killer beat and are now stuck finding it's not as easy as it looked. Oh, but it can be easy for you with JTMC. We've been there, we know how it feels, so we solve challenges like production, promotion, marketing, branding and development, and more. With over 30 years of experience, JTMC is a one-stop shop for artists. We handle your graphic design, writing services, PR, as well as event planning, e-blasts, artist management, and bookings, so also your website and social media needs as well. We're experts in using creativity to persuade audiences on behalf of artists, drawing on our diverse experience to create projects that connect with audiences intellectually and emotionally. Artist success is everything to us, and our years of experience and commitment will be behind you for every one of your needs. If you've got music for the world to hear, whether you're a new or established artist, visit us at jtmcenterprise.com.
It takes an entire village to raise a child. Hello, I'm Paul Campbell, here to talk about Palace. Peace and Love Academic Scholarship. This non-profit group supports students facing serious obstacles from entering or continuing their studies, not because the grades are failing, but due to the lack of financial support.
Over the past 8 years, Palace has awarded 600 scholarships valued at approximately 50.3 million Jamaican dollars, or 415,000 US dollars.
Together, we must build a better future for our children. Please visit www.palace1.org and make your donation to brighten the future of a deserving child. Palace, preserving young minds for posterity.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school, I learned that I'm ugly and useless. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. In history, I learned that I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick. And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me.
In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid. And in math, I learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today?
The only thing I didn't learn today?
The only thing I didn't learn
is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise.
Yes. Akar Mantino, I'm making notes right now. You are locked in to DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift.
It's Jadan, representing for G4. Hey, Aisan, I don't wanna feel you. Look at no, you say I'm the future. I'm more like when a girl have a youth. Me see the ants, I follow good father. Where you take your son and them daughter. You say I'm the future. I'm more like when a girl have a youth. So push a blank, be a the good father. Where you take your son and them daughter. You and she fight it like a man, car food off in yam. She never give up on way, no, she never give up on me. Mommy, me know you try your best, that's why me I go do the rest. All the struggle and the pain, can't wait till the day me tell you don't work again. You say I'm the future, more life, I'm more life when a girl have a youth. Me see the hands, I follow good father, where I take you the son and them.
The sound of Jadan.
You say I'm the future, more life, I'm more life.
That's the title of the track. Youths, they are the future. I want to welcome you back to the show. It's Healthy Love right here on the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Steele.
Why you mislead them when them right? You fi show them when them wrong. You fi tell them set a foundation for the youth them start. If them learn so the youth them
I want to say a special thanks to Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands for sponsoring this segment of the show. Althea is a licensed massage therapist, and she comes to you, brings her tables, brings her table, her oils, and her Healing Heavenly Hands. So if you're in the Broward County, North Miami-Dade, South Palm Beach County, just give her a call, 954-655-9000, or visit her at thealater@att.net and schedule your appointment now. One thing I want to make special mention of, thank you, Jadan. One thing I want to make special mention of, for those who are in the Fort Lauderdale area, and you know, you don't have to be in the Fort Lauderdale area. You could be in Miami, you could be in Deerfield Beach. If as long as you can get there, go ahead and get there. Crave Restaurant and Lounge is a hurricane relief drop-off location in Broward County, and what they're doing is giving others the opportunity to help those in the Bahamas that are seriously affected by Hurricane Dorian. And the number of people, well, we all know that number is not just one and few, right? So here's what they need. Non-perishable food, being canned soup, instant oatmeal, meat, canned meats like corned beef, bully beef, as we know it. But tinned meats, tinned vegetables, canned vegetables, bottled water. They need baby items like diapers, formula, and baby food. They also need adult diapers. Don't get it twisted. The seniors are in need of diapers too. They need toiletries, soap, toothbrush, toothpaste, shampoo, hand soap, deodorants, etc. They need toilet tissue. They need paper towels. They need blankets, whether they're new or used. But hey, if they're used, don't pull out your worst blankets, okay? Crave Restaurant and Lounge is located at 4519 North Pine Island Road in Sunrise, Florida. Zip code 33351. And if you want to give them a call, go ahead and call 954-588-3919. That's 954-588-3919. Thank you, Crave Restaurant, for doing what you are doing to contribute to the aid of those in need in the Bahamas. And let me tell you, there are a lot of people who are in need in the Bahamas right now, because this storm didn't just pass through. This storm got to the Bahamas and set up camp, and then decided to leave slowly. So if you haven't seen any of the videos coming out or pictures coming out of the Bahamas, brace yourself. That's all I have to say on that one. Brace yourself. Now, continuing where we left off with how climate affects our health, we're going to look at temperatures. Now, extreme heat events have long threatened public health in the United States, and many cities, including St. Louis, Philadelphia, Chicago, and Cincinnati, have suffered dramatic increases in deaths during heat waves. Deaths from heat stroke and related conditions, but also from cardiovascular disease, respiratory disease, cerebrovascular disease. All of these are on the rise as extreme heat events increase. Heat waves are also associated with increased hospital admissions for cardiovascular, kidney, and respiratory disorders. Extreme summer heat is increasing in the US, and climate projections indicate that extreme heat events will be more frequent and intense in coming decades. I don't know how much more I can stress that. I started stressing it last night. I'm stressing some more right now. Some heat-related sicknesses and death risks have diminished in recent decades, possibly due to better forecasting, heat health, early warning systems, and or increased access to air conditioning for the US population. However, extreme heat events remain a cause of preventable death nationwide. Urban heat islands, combined with an aging population and increased urbanization, are projected to increase the vulnerability of urban populations to heat-related health impacts in the future. Now understand this. The increase in the use of air conditioning also contributes to what causes the increase in extreme heat events. So, we need to decide how we're going to move forward. Milder winters resulting from a warming climate can reduce illness, injuries, and deaths associated with cold and snow. Vulnerability to winter weather depends on many non-climate factors, including housing, age, and baseline health. While deaths and injuries related to extreme cold events are projected to decline due to climate change, these reductions are not expected to compensate for the increase in health-related deaths. So, don't just think, oh, well, we're warming up, so we don't have to worry about freezing to death anymore. No, we're baking to death now. Pick your poison. Good evening, Julia, and welcome to the show. Now, the thing that we've been talking about a lot, especially on the East Coast, is precipitation and extreme precipitation. But it's not just here on the East Coast. We're talking about it now because of the hurricane. But we mentioned it happening a lot in the Midwest and low-lying areas across the United States. The frequency of heavy precipitation events have already increased for the nation as a whole. And it is projected to increase in all U.S. regions. Increases in both extreme precipitation and total precipitation have contributed to increases in severe flooding events in certain regions. Floods are the second deadliest of all weather-related hazards in the United States, accounting for approximately 98 deaths per year, most due to drowning. Flash floods and flooding associated with tropical storms result in the highest number of deaths. Now, in addition to the immediate health hazards associated with extreme precipitation events when flooding occurs, you have other hazards that can often appear once a storm has passed. You have elevated waterborne disease outbreaks that have been reported in the weeks following heavy rainfall. And although other variables may affect these associations, they are there. Water intrusion into buildings can result in mold contamination that manifests later on. Again, mold shows up. And this leading to indoor air quality problems. Air quality is bad inside. What is going to happen? You're going to have respiratory problems, right? I hope you're connecting all the dots. Buildings damaged during hurricanes are especially susceptible to water intrusion. Populations living in damp indoor environments experience increased prevalence of asthma and other upper respiratory tract symptoms such as coughing and wheezing, as well as lower respiratory tract infections such as pneumonia, respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, and RSV pneumonia. So here we go, compounding the issue. If it's too hot and dry, we have one set of problems. When the rain comes and cools us, we have another set of problems. Now, at the opposite end of precipitation extremes, you have drought. Two sides of the same coin, right? So, drought also poses risks to public health safety. Drought conditions may increase the environmental exposure to a broad set of health hazards, including wildfires, dust storms, extreme heat events, flash flooding, degraded water quality, and reduced water quantity. Dust storms associated with drought conditions contribute to degraded air quality due to particulates that and have been associated with increased incidence of valley fever, for starters, which is a fungal pathogen, and you have this occurring in Arizona and California. Now, there's a scientific name for valley fever, and it is coccidioidomycosis. One word. Has as many letters as the alphabet does, but a number of them repeated. So I didn't make it up. It really does exist, and it's no joke. So you have precipitation extremes, which happen as a result of climate change. Again, all of these things that are happening as a result of our direct influence on our climate. Us, human beings, the ones who are consuming things off the earth, the ones who are traveling, the ones who are enjoying recreation, the ones who are just living. Yeah, we are contributing to all this that is happening. Just what we're doing right now is just raising awareness of some of the things that happen as a result of our doing it. So we mentioned temperature extremes, we mentioned precipitation extremes. Now, one of the other factors that influence the distribution of diseases in and around our communities are vectors. What are these vectors? You're talking like fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and these vectors spread pathogens that cause illnesses. Now, the geographical and seasonal distribution of vector pollutants and the diseases they can carry depends not only on climate, but on land use, socioeconomic and cultural factors, pest control, access to healthcare, and human responses to disease risk, among other factors. Daily, seasonal, or year-to-year climate variability can sometimes result in vector pathogen adaptation and shifts or expansions in their geographic ranges. Such shifts can alter disease incidence depending on vector-host interaction, host immunity, and pathogen evolution. North Americans are currently at risk from numerous vector-borne diseases, including Lyme, dengue fever, West Nile virus, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, plague, and tularemia. Vector-borne pathogens not currently found in the United States, such as chikungunya. Well, we can't even say not currently found, but not regularly found in the United States, because chikungunya cases have been reported recently. So chikungunya, Chagas disease, and Rift Valley fevers are also threats. Climate change affects on the geographical distribution and incidence of vector-borne diseases in other countries where these diseases are already found can also impact North Americans, especially as a result of increasing trade with and travel to tropical and subtropical areas. Whether climate change in the US will increase the chances of domestically acquiring diseases such as dengue fever is uncertain due to vector control efforts and lifestyle factors, such as time spent indoors versus outdoors, that reduce human-insect contact. But it may reduce it, but not negate it. It doesn't prevent it. And this is not just in the US. People from the US, it's not only people from the US that are traveling to these tropical and subtropical areas. So these diseases are not only just showing up in the US, but my information source is US based. Understand this for those who are listening from other places in the world. You are not immune. Infectious disease transmission is sensitive to local, small-scale differences in weather, human modification of the landscape, the diversity of animal hosts, and human behavior that affects vector-human contact, among some other factors. Finer scale, long-term studies are needed to help quantify the relationship among weather variables, vector range, and vector-borne pathogen occurrence. These consequences of shifting distributions of vectors and pathogens and the impacts on human behavior. Enhanced vector surveillance and human disease tracking are needed to address these concerns. Each of us can play a part in this. Have I said that already? Have I been saying it over and over and over again? Do I sound like a broken record? That's fine. I'll do that, if that will help to get the point across. For those of you who want to contribute to the show, those who want to share in, I have one more segment before I go over into musical therapy. 773-789-STEW gets you in touch. 773-789-7839. You can call, you can text, and of course, kevinstew.com is available. You can jump into the stew pot. Others call it a chat room. We're fancy. We call it the stew pot. It's where we keep things bubbling. It's the interactive portal on kevinstew.com. Give your contribution. Let me get your feedback. Tell me what you think about this whole idea of climate change and how it affects our health. Is our health deteriorating on a global scale as a result of just us, human beings, living? Or is it really and truly affected by climate change? Do you recognize climate change? These are some of the things, some of the questions that really need answered. These are some of the things that are real. So, like it or not, play with it if you want to. It is what it is. Again, thanks to Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands for sponsoring this segment of the show. Listen, before I go off into this break. Well, actually, I'll tell you at the beginning of musical therapy. I'll share it with you at the beginning of musical therapy. I'm gonna do a giveaway, and I'm giving away a free massage. The criteria to get this massage, I'll tell you at the beginning of musical therapy. All right. So, call a friend, tell a friend. We're on a night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. We're gonna take a quick little break. When we come back, we talk some more. When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulseemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.
I'm in almost every school bus in classroom. You see me around the neighborhood and you tell me that I'm a pretty good kid. Well, I'm 1 out of every 5 children in America, and I'm struggling with hunger.
Please visit feedingamerica.org today and find your local food bank for ways to help.
Every dollar you donate helps provide 8 meals for kids like me. We are Feeding America, brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind, and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com, your links to worship and praise.
Hey, I'm representing for DJ Kevin Stew, working on the night shift radio show. Won't go changing like the weather, just to please the devil never. Will DJ Kevin Stew sell his soul? That's a word and honor. It's Christine representing word and honor. Selassie DJ Kevin Stew.
Me I do what me have to do. Say what me have to say. No care what you have to say. Say what me want to say.
Pull up with the glizzy gon' OD. All these little parties and they know me. Pull up with the glizzy gon' OD. All these little parties and they know me. Rockstar Bon Jovi. Rockstar Bon Jovi. All these little parties and they know me. Rockstar Bon Jovi. I learned it was chores, don't get lost in emotion. Break through the commotion I do. Hey. Shots make you jump up, gon' party till sun up like we don't got nothing to lose. All through the come up and working to stun up. I get what I want, yeah I choose. From winter to summer, I keep me my gunner. The haters, they want me to snooze.
It's evolution, my evolution. My evolution. This evolution, evolution.
Una Morgan, Jadi, Brida Briglia. The track is called Evolution.
Just say, up we say, up we say, up we say, that just say. Now it's time for me to be grown. No more time for games, no more time for playing. I will never ever be alone. Gotta make a change, time to rearrange.
It's an evolution, mind captivation. Feel the vibration, never watch face. Fun on pollution, Afro evolution with a bun. Hep word, I'm a weapon. Rise from the ashes with vengeance. Sending the blessings every sentence. Feeling my essence in your presence. Ay, whoa, 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 whoa. Ay, Mr. Evolution with a bun. Living in illusion through all the confusion. I forgive thanks for the Almighty One. Still remain strong in a white man land. Mr. Evolution with a bun. It's a evolution with a bun. Mr. Evolution with a bun. Okay, no pollution. What we say? What we say?
Evolution, my evolution.
I want to say thanks to JTMC Enterprise. Thank you for sponsoring this segment of the show. JTMC provides your tour management needs, your bookings, your promotions, your event management needs, your social media management needs, and your general entertainment needs. Let's give them a call. 678-793-8800, 678-793-88000, or visit them at jtmcenterprise.com. Tell them DJ Kevin Stew sent you, yeah? Una Morgan, Evolution. Alright, so, oh, there I am. So, as we go into the final segment of, well, the second to last segment, the final segment before musical therapy, right here in Healthy Love Tonight, we're looking at food and waterborne diarrheal disease. Because I don't know if you all recognize how one thing leads into the other, or how all these conditions are linked, but they're all connected. And the one thing that sits in the middle of all of them, outside of climate change, is us. We are the one thing that connects all of these. Well, naturally, because we're the ones being affected, but we're also the main contributors. So, food and waterborne diarrheal disease. Diarrheal disease is a major public health issue in developing countries, and while not generally increasing in the United States, it remains a persistent concern. Exposure to a variety of pathogens in water and food causes diarrheal disease. Air and water temperatures, precipitation patterns, extreme rainfall events, and seasonal variations are all known to affect disease transmission. All of them. In the US, children and the elderly are the most vulnerable to serious outcomes, and those exposed to inadequately and untreated groundwater will be among the most affected. In general, Diarrheal diseases including salmonellosis and campylobacteriosis are more common when temperatures are higher than patterns differ. Although patterns tend to differ by place and pathogen. Diarrheal diseases have also been found to occur more frequently in conjunction with both unusually high and low precipitation. We're getting more rainfall, aren't we? We're getting more extreme temperature situations and as in high temperatures, aren't we? Yeah. Sporadic increases in stream flow rates, often preceded by rapid snowmelt and changes in water treatment, have also been shown to precede outbreaks. Risks of waterborne illnesses and beach closures resulting from changes in magnitude of recent precipitation within the previous 24 hours, typically, and in lake temperature are expected to increase in the Great Lakes region as a result of projected climate change. You see the problems that we're facing as a result of climate change. It only continues. It doesn't stop there. Because there's also food security. So in the midst of all of this, we have to be concerned about our food also. Because globally, climate change is expected to threaten food production and certain aspects of food quality, as well as food prices and distribution systems. We're not getting away from it. We need food to survive, right? Climate change affects the food. So, science, and well, some scientists will say, oh, well, you know, we have a solution for that. That's why we're genetically modifying some of these foods to resist some of these harsh conditions, to be able to grow them in different conditions with less of this. But does that make it real? One of the things we talk about in Healthy Love, and we talk about it frequently, is consuming food closest to its natural state for us to benefit the most nutritionally, and as a result to keep us healthy. So when these core things are affected, how do we continue to live healthy lives? How do we continue to grow healthy children? Many crop yields are predicted to decline because of combined effects of changes in rainfall, severe weather events, and increasing competition from weeds and pests on crop plants. Livestock and fish production are also projected to decline. Prices are expected to rise in response to declining food production and associated trends such as increasingly expensive petroleum, which is used for agricultural plants inputs, such as pesticides and fertilizers. Now, let's pause for a moment. Livestock and fish production are also projected to decline. You may remember just 2 weeks ago. Oh, last week I did a show featuring genetically modified salmon. We know of other genetically altered or lab created or artificially raised fish. So that has already been on the rise. Again, those who are closely associated with science and scientists would say, all right, we have a solution for that. Let's go make something in the lab that we can give to, and then we can price it lower, and our general population will still be fed. In theory, it sounds great. But here's the issue that I have with it. It may not be your issue, but it is my issue. It comes back to that thing being different from how it naturally is. Because how it naturally is being affected by how we are living. And we are being given things of creature comforts that are constantly affecting how we can the quality of our life. So do we give up creature comforts for a better quality life? Or do we enjoy our creature comforts and continue to destroy the earth that we have? Things that make you scratch your head, and dilemmas that make you sit and ponder. But this is the real situation. Now, I don't know if there's another way to put it. I might be putting it wrong. If so, go ahead and correct me. The stew pot is there. You can make your comments. The connection is there. 773-789. The line is there. 773-789-7839. You can call. You can text. Go ahead. Email me. djkevinstew@gmail.com. Let me know what you think. If you're overseas, Skype me. Kevin.stew. I'm reachable. Give me your feedback. Tell me if what I am saying in giving my views, I am off or off base or whatever. I know the information that I'm presenting is pretty much solid, but we get to question that too. Not because I'm presenting information that is already out there doesn't mean that we can't question it. Yeah, we'll get to question it. But in the midst of all those questions going out, we need to take a step in front of the mirror and ask a question there. What are we going to do about it? Now, while the US will be less affected than some other countries, the nation will not be immune. Health can be affected in several ways. First, Americans with particular dietary patterns, such as Alaska natives, will confront shortages of key foods. Second, food insecurity increases with rising food prices. In such situations, people cope by turning to nutrient-poor but calorie-rich foods, and or they endure hunger, with consequences ranging from micronutrient malnutrition to obesity. Compounding the problem, right? Not really finding a solution. Third, the nutritional value of some food is projected to decline. Elevated atmospheric carbon dioxide is associated with decreased plant nitrogen concentration and therefore decreased protein in many crops, such as barley, sorghum, and soy. Decreased protein. So, what they're known to provide, they won't provide as much. So we need to consume more of it, right? In order to get what we used to get with consuming less. The nutrient content of crops is also projected to decline if soil nitrogen levels are suboptimal, with reduced levels of nutrients such as calcium, iron, zinc, vitamins, and sugars. This effect can be alleviated if sufficient nitrogen is supplied. So here comes again the pesticides and the fertilizers. Well, the fertilizers to provide nitrogen. Artificial, right? Fourth, farmers are expected to need to use more herbicides and pesticides because of increased growth of pests and weeds, as well as decreased effectiveness and duration of some chemicals, because these pests and weeds are evolving also. You get it? Cool. As long as you see where I'm going with this. Farmers, farm workers, and consumers will be increasingly exposed to these substances and their residues, which, well, surprise, surprise, can also be toxic. So the crop is being treated with things that are really not good for us, but are needed to prevent the takeover of the crop by pests and weeds. So if the pests and the weeds are dying and the crop is living, what kind of crop is that? So the crop is resistant to the pesticides and the fungicides, but it's not like it's going to say, okay, I will absorb everything else but not this. The plant in and of itself will absorb what is available to it. Now, if the plant is going to absorb it, then you think we are not? If we're not consuming these plants directly, we're consuming them by way of the animals that consume them, that we consume. So are we escaping the fate that is being presented by some of these toxins being introduced by our farmers to produce the goods that we need to consume? See the dilemma? All because of climate change. So here we have it. These climate change impacts on the nutritional value of food exist within a larger context. Other factors such as agricultural practices, food distribution systems, and consumer food choices are also play key roles. Adaptation activities can reduce the health-related impacts of some of the anticipated food security challenges. But it doesn't solve the problem. Now, lastly, but by no means least of it all, when you look at all of these things, you take all of this into consideration, do you sit back and then say, if all of these things happen or continue to happen, that would be really rough. And then go, oh well. I don't think there's anybody that has that approach to it. More often than not, we sit and we think about and we think about and we think about, and then we get a headache, and then we have to go take a pill for that. And then there's side effects of the pill that we took for the headache, so we have to need to take another pill or another bit of medication for the side effect. And here we go, start damaging organs because our organs cannot fully process the components of this drug, causing other problems. So we'll stress over it, right? That's what it boils down to. So here we go. Mental illness. That is where we're at now. And that is one of the major causes of suffering in the United States. And extreme weather events can affect mental health in several ways. Following disasters, mental health problems increase, both among people with no history of mental illness and those who are at risk. A phenomenon known as common reactions to abnormal events. Sounds simple enough, doesn't it? These reactions maybe short-lived, or in some cases, long-lasting. An example, research demonstrated high levels of anxiety and post-traumatic stress disorder among people affected by Hurricane Katrina, and similar observations have followed flood and heat waves. Some evidence suggests wildfires have similar effects. All of these events are increasingly fueled by climate change. All of them. Here in South Florida, more and more, you mention hurricane, and everything that is considered basic needs fly off the shelves in stores. Why? Because we know what it's like to go through a hurricane. And big businesses love it. Because people spend money. That's what their products are out there. They're out there for consumption. People spend money. So they love it. But it's a problem. Because it doesn't contribute well to our economy in the long run. We looked at that last night. So some evidence suggests wildfires have similar effects, right? As the hurricanes, the heat waves, the floods, PTSD, real thing. Other health consequences of intensely stressful exposures are also a concern. And these include preterm birth, low birth weight, and maternal complications. So don't get it twisted. Even the unborn are facing troublesome times. And that's just at the entry to this world. In addition, some patients with mental illness are especially susceptible to heat. Suicide rates vary with weather, rising with high temperatures, suggesting potential climate change impacts on depression and other mental illnesses. Funny enough, if it rains too much, people tend to also be suicidal. When it's damp and dreary. Yeah. So, you need balance. Dementia is a risk factor for hospitalization and death during heat waves. Patients with severe mental illness, such as schizophrenia, are at risk during hot weather because their medications may interfere with temperature regulation or even directly cause hypothermia. Not hypo, but hyperthermia. Additional potential mental health impacts, less well understood, include the possible distress associated with environmental degradation and displacement, and the anxiety and despair that knowledge of climate change might elicit in some people. Listen, when you think that everything that affects us by way of climate change is environmental, this right here puts a stop to that thought. Because this right here opens your eyes to that little bit of what is happening. And if nothing else, we do need to be aware. And if we are already aware, we need to be more aware of what is happening in our environment and how that impacts us. You know, people say, boy, you know, I don't know what is going on with people these days because it seems like everybody is going off their rockers. Well, you ever stop to think that what is happening in our environment might be a direct contributor to that? if you didn't before, you should know. Because here's evidence of it. When you see people acting jittery and having panic attacks because you mention, or it is mentioned on the news that there's a storm heading this way, and you see them break out into a cold sweat or panic or start clutching their chest because they're panicking, having a panic attack, not even a heart attack but a panic attack, which is just as dangerous in my estimation. But then again, I'm just a DJ. Well, I will be in just a few minutes when we go into musical therapy. Think on these things though. Do your research yourself if you don't believe what I am saying. You don't have to believe what I am saying. That's fine. All I needed to do is be aware. And then take it from there. I know what I encourage. You can give me some feedback. 773-789-STEW. 773-789-7839. Or go to kevinstew.com. In fact, at the bottom of the page, there is a comment section, where a contact me section, where you can make your comments. Go ahead, put your information in there, make your comments there. And that section also comes in handy with what I'm going to tell you now. So, massages help to relieve stress. So I'm giving away 2 massages this month. And the first will be in... The first massage will be... let me see. Next Wednesday, the 11th, I will be able to announce... Well, actually, on Monday the 16th, I will announce who is getting the free massage. So, in community and finance on Monday, I'll announce who gets the free massage. But here's what you need to do to get the free massage. You need to be the 48th. 48. Yeah, you might say that's a weird number. Don't worry about it. There's a method to the madness. The 48th person to go on kevinstew.com and put in the contact me section where it says message. Send that information to me. Tell me the region that Althea covers with her healing heavenly hands. You be the 48th person to give me that information, and you win a free massage. Oils, table, she comes to you, the works. And I'm gonna count them as they come in. So you be the 48th. Go to kevinstew.com, scroll down to the bottom of the page, there's a contact me section. Go there and tell me the region that Althea covers with her healing heavenly hands, and that wins you a free massage. So you have between now and the 15th, between now and the 15th of September, to be the 48th person. Okay? So you won't know until Monday the 16th who that 48th person is. And you have to be within that region also to benefit from the free massage, naturally. She's not going to fly to Germany just to give you a free massage. That's not going to happen. So, yes, it is for those that are within the region. But try your luck. See if that number 48 is you. Alright? Going into our musical therapy. Again, let's open our eyes, let's be aware. And in the midst of it all, every day you wake up is another day to make a change, to make a difference. And no matter what, each day that you get up, you need to recognize, like Korik says, it's a good day. So, call your friends, tell your friends, today is a good day. And we're going to live it as such. Go ahead, get started with the competition. Number 48 gets it. So, if you go and you comment 5 times, and you end up on the 5th time being number 48, well, then you get it. But you won't know until Monday the 16th. Alright?
It's a good day. Ain't nothing gonna stop my stride or broke my vibe. All of that can go to hell. I already made up my mind that I'm living my best life. Every day I'm above ground. Every day I'm above ground. Cause every day above ground is a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel and complain, give thanks and praise is what you should say. Cause every day above ground is a good day. And every day above ground is a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel.
It's time for musical therapy.
Praise is what you should say. Cause every day above ground.
I want to thank GMAT Music Solutions for sponsoring this segment.
I go, just shining sunlight through my window. Him say give thanks for life today. Because no one knows tomorrow. So I give thanks, no time for stress.
Kicking it out for a little Korik.
It's a blessing, respect to you.
The track is called Good Day.
I'm not guessing.
Track not yet released. But best believe we're bouncing it in and out.
And every day above ground is a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel and complain, give thanks and praise is what you should say. Cause every day above ground is a good day. Ain't nothing gonna stop my stride or broke my vibe. All of that can go to
25 minutes before I get out of here.
my mind that I'm living my
Let's enjoy it.
every day above ground. Every day above ground. Cause every day above ground is a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel and complain, give thanks and praise is what you should say. Cause every day above ground is a good day. And every day above ground is a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel and complain, give thanks and praise is what you should say. Cause every day above ground is a good day. Blessings step on me everywhere I go. Just shining sunlight through my window. Him say give thanks for life today. Because no one knows tomorrow. So I give thanks, no time for stressing. Every breath I breathe is a blessing. Respect to you, Jah. I'm confessing you're on it. I'm not guessing. Cause every day above ground is a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel and complain, give thanks and praise is what you should say. Cause every day above ground is a good day. And every day above ground is a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel and complain, give thanks and praise is what you should say. Cause every day above ground is a good day. Got no time to be hateful. There's so much to be grateful for. You might never have your plate full, but from your living and breathing, stay cheerful and give thanks and learn this lesson. Every breath we breathe is a blessing. Respect to you, Jah. I'm confessing you're on things. I'm not guessing, cause every day above ground is a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel and complain, give thanks and praise is what you should say. Cause every day above ground is a good day. And every day above ground is a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel and complain, give thanks and praise is what you should say. Cause every day above ground is a good day.
You can't fail if you try to. Let God be your guide all day. Give your all every time I say. Just know you are not penny nobody. Right
This is Caramanti.
today, go all out and no go out.
A track called Eyes Open Up.
That is all I say. Just know you are not penny nobody. So when you're meditating, I got money, good life you're penetrating. You want go speak straight, elevating. Go hard right now, no waiting. The question is what you do today, king. You
You can't cheat life, that I know debating. You have to put in the work, forget the great things. All night, all day, till you see the scrapings. Ching, ching, ching. You can't fail if you try, no way. Let God be your guide all day. Give your all every time I say. Just do you want no penny nobody. Right now all you have is today. Go all out and no go halfway. You can't win, that is all I say. Just do you want no penny nobody. Me beg you overs when me talk. Me no mean you fi work hard. When me mean is your face man, massa. Cause some who know a go hard. Now see ma who know yard. Always pan guard, no sir. You fi include the master. Overstand say that a the forecaster. Get balance with God in the center. So everything you want you will get that faster. You can't fail if you try, no way. Let God be your guide all day. Give your all every time I say. Just do you want no penny nobody.
Once again, I want to say thanks to GMAT Music Solutions for sponsoring this segment of the show. GMAT Music Solutions provides sound, lighting, stage production services, musicians, singers, DJs, bands, MCs. They provide equipment for your event to bring your event to life. Give them a call, 754-307-GMAC. That's 754-307-4622. Or visit them at gmatmusicsolutions.com and tell them, hey, I heard about you on Kevin Stew's show, The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew.
I'm waking up. God me trust, me trust. Eyes open up, I'm waking up. God me trust, me trust. Let God be your guide all day. Give your all every time I say. Just do one up and nobody. Boy, tell me where you going. I'm coming up, only if you're ready up, ready up.
This is Vonnie.
Boy, show me that you're ready up, ready up.
It's called Ready Up.
I see the way you're looking at me. Get control, how you want upon me. Something to do it, how I'm moved to the bay. We'll be home today. Cause you know that I live and show. But look what you made me do. Said I'd be all my touch you, but it's 5 and it's still with you. Oh yeah, I ain't been on going nowhere. Oh yeah, hold me tight, 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 tight. Know that I'ma be right here. Hold me through to the night, and if it feels right, tell me. So for sure it's the motive. Boy, tell me where you going. I'm coming up, only if you're ready up, ready up. Don't go so I'm coming up, show me that you're ready up, ready up. Wherever you going, you're telling me come sure. Got me hit to the morning, don't know what I should do. Guess who's calling me baby? You seem so into that lady. You want me like you say you do. You can tell I'm feeling you too. But I can forward into the spot until you're ready up. A real bad girl need a real good man. Them now go just at them bout the action, man. The last one never go so. So come here, boy, come here now. So for sure it's the motive. Boy, tell me where you going. I'm coming up, only if you're ready up, ready up. Don't go so I'm coming up, boy, show me that you're ready up, ready up.
This is Deville. The track is called Kryptonite.
I don't share my feelings often, and I'm writing in a song. I need you. I need you.
This is new music from the Anthem Band. I like the way you move.
I like the way you move, looking at the way you groove. But I don't wanna stand no God can make you feel the way you do. I know what I need to know. I ain't trying to let this go. But what I'm trying to tell you is that I want you, baby. I like the way you move, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sexy thing you do, oh, oh. I like the way you move, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sexy little thing you do, oh, oh, oh. I like the way you move. Now, baby, let me give it to you, just the way you want, boo. I'm just trying to show you. Oh, baby, let me give it to you, just the way you want, boo. I just wanna show you. I like the way you move, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sexy thing you do, oh, oh, oh. I like the way you move, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sexy little thing you do, oh, oh, oh. I like the way you move. You don't know what's me love it. Good loving for sure, baby. I like the way it flow, darling. Especially how you pose, baby. Doing that for me, oh. Good loving for sure, baby. I like the way it flow, darling. Especially how you pose, baby. Doing that for me, oh. Baby girl, I wanna know the deal. Really don't care if the sign and seal. All I can see is you and me. Baby girl, that's the way it's supposed to be. Tell you the truth, man, I'm gonna tell you no lie. Really wanna slide up between them thighs. I sure do like the way you move. Baby girl, I like the way you move. Sexy thing you do, oh, oh, oh. I like the way you move, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sexy little thing you do, oh,
Saturday night, take me somewhere that I've never been yet.
This is Enzo
Flash
working out with Busy Signal.
colors in the air, I'll never
The track called Sober.
When I see that, I don't want the night to end. Caught up in your trance, waiting for my chance tonight. Give me everything you got, baby, it's alright. Pour me one more glass. All I know is after tonight, I don't wanna go home sober. Take my keys from me, you drive.
some people are saying, what? You're giving up 2 weeks for 48 people to respond. Yeah, I am.
Tonight we ain't going on sober. Intoxicated after the party, you probably have to call the owner. Drinks, party every day. Turn up the music and make it play. Yeah, she start dance and dance from me. We
I could do it to get a response by tomorrow. But I'm giving you all some time to share it to your friends and see who's going to make 48. And we want to get that 48 in so that Althea can schedule her time to go and do this massage. What if the winner wants it right away? You have to know how to schedule, right? So, again, I'll let you know on the 16th who the winner is, but number 48 to go on kevinstew.com and down in the comment section, tell me the region which Althea covers with her healing heavenly hands. You get a free massage. The only criteria is that you live within the region. That's the only criteria. And if you don't live in the region, if you are in the region or scheduled to be in the region, then you can get this massage. So, plan accordingly if you live outside of the region that Althea covers. But free massage if you are number 48 in sending me a message to tell me the region that Althea covers with her healing heavenly hands.
When I hear music, I can't refuse it. I gotta.
Inner Circle, Lunch Money Lewis, Alex,
So I'm calling,
and King Charles.
so you better get ready.
The track is called We're Dancing. And we're dancing out of here tonight.
All night, got to be alright. Got to make the music rock you all night. We will fight till daylight. We're dancing all night. DJ out there, rock the music rock you all night. Yeah, me up the girl till daylight.
Feel the music and let the people them lose it, yeah. If you're rocking in the club, you gotta show me love. I know that it gets hard sometimes. Yeah. Feel the music and them do this song and let the people them choose it, yeah. When you're rocking to the beat, just put it on repeat. I know that it gets hard sometimes.
I was with fun, drink on cool off. Y'all love, I don't know what you about. Don't leave, you want me to stay. Sorry, babe, but you know I gotta go now. I gotta go and ease my mind. I never wanna waste your time. But the only thing I know for sure, one day that the sun gon' shine. Yeah. All night, all night, all night, all day. Yeah. All night, all night, all night, all day. I was with fun, drink on cool off. Y'all love, I don't know what you about. No squares in a circle, no curfew.
We dancing all night. Got to be alright. Got to make the music rock you all night. We will fight till daylight. Take no circle, because we come to nice it up. And when them stand and drop them off, we wheel and pull up. And when the girls them there, and they say we stand up. And when them start to dance, you know the place just back up. We dancing all night. Got to be alright. Got to make the music rock you all night. We will fight till daylight. What my father said.
For all the Hezites, this is Hezron. Life is a poker game. What your hand has. I know I have a good hand. What kind of hand do you have? The sound of Kashif. He celebrated his Earth Day this past weekend.
Deception seems to be the new norm. And this time,
The track is called Love Love.
and only one thing can save us from their confusion and crimes. Yeah, talk about love, love that human beings need enough of to end insanity, give back humanity. It's life, sweet love, love. Welcome to our rescue. They're turning wrong into right, truth into lies, called and strife. The wicked is emboldened, it's unfolding in front of very eyes. They're embracing hatred while ignoring when it starts.
I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight.
It's like
Inviting you all to come back tomorrow. Real Talk Wednesday. Marlon's favorite night shift show.
only one thing that can push them out and close the door. Yeah, talk about love, love that human beings need.
You don't want to miss it.
To end insanity, give back humanity.
Because you know, that's where we keep things real.
Sweet love, love, welcome to our rescue.
Yeah, we keep everything real on the night shift. Don't worry about it.
Truth into lies, called and strife.
You still don't want to miss it.
Racism is rampant, nowadays blatant, as if there's a green light.
Y'all take care until later on.
We've been stripped of our rights.
Be safe, yeah?
Cruel decisions now accepted, and this time
Catch you on the flip side.
there's climate of pollution and crimes. Talking about love, love that human beings need enough of to end insanity, give back humanity. It's life, sweet love.
When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulsemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.